let me back up and give you some context. Yesterday, Phyllis, lovely woman who ran Candy Castle, as I was walking out, I saw a Pine Island Park poster that she had framed, and I said, how much for that? Anyways, it brought me back to the rabbit hole. Now, I spend a lot of time on Google Maps, always just looking, and I was trying to find the area where the old drive-in existed that used to be a part of the park. Anyways, I'm looking next to the airport, and I'm zooming in on this watershed, this little canal, but if you look just next to it and you zoom in, it looks like a trolley track. I'm refusing to even believe that that is what it is, because that would be way too cool for that to actually exist. Problem is, I don't really know how to access it, because this is an airport road, and this little area over here where it looks like you can park, you actually can't really park there. So, because it's authorized vehicles only, I don't want to get towed there. I'm gonna park over at this factory because it's, if you use the Google Street View and you work your way over, you can see that there's no fence. So I'm thinking I can just park in one of these parking spots and walk over there and check it out. Okay, so I'm in the parking lot of this lubricant company, Brenntag. I just finished from the gym, so I have some wet shoes, so I need to change those first. There is a little bit of a fence. It's absolutely scalable. I just don't want anybody here to see me. So let me change my shoes real quick. So again, this only feels sketchy because there's like this whole company. Oh, perfect. I don't even see the fence anymore. Okay. I don't believe I'm trespassing on anyone's property right now, because this is all, I didn't cross any fence line. The fence line was way back there. I went around the fence line, so I'm pretty sure I'm solid. This is something I could not tell from the map. I did not realize there's such a drop-off right there. That is absolutely a bridge. Does not appear to be a train track. I gotta walk around though. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that this is not some leftover relic from Pine Island Park, but rather something that allows probably machinery to cross the river. The machinery that built these piles, and the machinery that set up these power lines. That's gonna be my guess. If I fall in this water, though, it will be a bad day for Keller. These are just logs, just tree logs. Well, and seeing that pretty much already answers my question as to what the round one is, but I'm already here. I'm just gonna go check it out. Yeah. So right here is the track, quote unquote track. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say this isn't railroad, but in fact something that just helps cars and machinery. The same machinery that built that allowed it to climb up this steep grate. I'm not gonna say I wasted my time. You got this beautiful rapid brook here, and we're getting to see the airport from a different perspective. To be completely straightforward with you, I sort of expected that was not going to be a relic from Pine Island Park, mostly because I'm a little bit too far north. I'm pretty sure the park didn't exist much more north than where the old drive-in was, which is that building. So it wouldn't really make any sense for there to be train track out here. But you gotta admit, in my defense, it looked incredibly similar to a trolley track. And the placement of it was just too curious. But I want to go to one more place because I haven't gotten Pine Island out of my system quite yet. Why, Pine Island Park itself, you dingus. I don't exactly know why, but Pine Island Park has been like one of my favorite topics that I've ever covered. There's something that's so interesting to me about this abandoned theme park that, you know, used to be there. Anytime there was a big thing and it's no longer there, it fascinates me.
And because Pine Island Park was so big and now it's so not here, there's no remnants of it, and a lot of people don't know it was ever here. It's just, it gets me so interested. And also the industry tie-in, because Pine Island Park was referred to what was called a trolley park. And that was back in the turn of the century, in the early 1900s, people didn't really have any reason to go far away from home because travel wasn't really integrated into people's thoughts the way it is now. So in order to get people to, you know, travel on the trolley, to get used to the idea of taking the train to long distances, at the very end of the line, they would typically put these amusement parks. So for example, Pine Island Park was free admission. You didn't have to pay to get into the park. Now, I don't know if you had to pay to get on the rides, but the only thing was you had to take the trolley to get here, and that cost an admission. That cost a ticket of a trolley. So that's how you got Pine Island Park. Canobie Lake Park was also a trolley park, and even what's now Six Flags in Massachusetts was also a trolley park. It's where a lot of theme parks today in America came from, was this idea of just trying to get people to buy a flippin' ticket. In 1902, Manchester Traction Light and Power Company opened Pine Island Park, an amusement park with rides, games, and a roller rink and a dance hall. In addition, swimming, canoe, and swan boat rentals were available. Pine Island Park would attract fun-seeking patrons from as far away as Boston. A trolley car line owned by Manchester Traction Light and Power provided easy access to the park through its duration. The park endured hurricanes, fires, but was ultimately unable to keep up with progress. After struggling for decades, the park closed in 1962. Now, I remember seeing this last time, and I would love to know, what was this? This definitely is an original thing. Were these bleachers? Was it a staircase? What was it looking at on? Now, this river did exist. There's a photo of it where you can see there used to be boats that went along here. And this is a bridge truss. I don't know if this is the original bridge truss or if this is some updated bridge, but there was a bridge that passed through here. And this path right here was originally part of the park. Like things like at the top here, I don't know how well you can see it, but there's, you know, those little metal things coming out, and then there's wood. So that was some sort of a pathway or a truss. Something was up there. There were actually a lot of people who died at this theme park. A lot, and a lot of them were drownings. There was just so much destruction and bad luck that happened here. There were a lot of fires. One guy jumped out of an airplane to do a parachuting stunt, and his parachute didn't open, so he died in front of this whole group of people. There was a bear that escaped during a show and started running into the audience. There was just a lot of negative things that happened at this park. So real quick before I call it a day, I just want to take you to visit Moores Cemetery real quick. This beautiful cemetery that overlooks the highway. So the next time you're on your way to the Manchester airport and you take Brown Street or whatever, look up here and you can see this beautiful, what used to be quiet cemetery that probably had a beautiful view back when this was a lot of farming and cleared for railroads and what have you. But it's just a very small cemetery that has industry and progress growing up around it at every turn.